What is up, everybody? It is Guy Smiley here, and this is going to be the beginning of a new mock update. So this isn't really going to be exactly a new mock. We finished this in the last mock update, and we're going to be building another one in light gray in this video. So just the same thing, but we're going to be doing some new decals on it. I'm going to put graffiti decals on pretty much the entire ship. So it's going to look absolutely amazing, I think, when it's done. I did make some minor changes to the design, actually, because I found a better way to do the front here, the interior of the front area of the ship. So as we can see here, I used some of these headlight bricks, and it actually works out perfectly with just like the geometry of all the pieces here. So that I did not need to use these new pieces, which are like they're one brick and 2 plates tall with 2 studs on them. They're like a half version of this piece here, this brickheads piece with the 4 studs on it. It's like one half of that, because I only had 2 of those, so I had to figure out a better way to do it. And I think that this is actually a lot better because it allows me to connect this part to this piece here. So it's a lot more stable, and it works out very, very well, actually. Alright guys, so we are making progress on ship number 2 here. It is looking really good, and I think I'm going to be able to finish this today, maybe, actually. Alright everybody, so we are back, and it has been quite a long time since I did an update for this mock review, mock update, but this is what we have. It's almost done. It's very, very close. I'm just kind of doing some little things that I wanted to update on it. Some little changes that I wanted to make. For example, these right here on the underside of the engines. Because I actually watched where this was featured in the actual movie. And it's a little bit different than the concept art version. It's a little bit different, and I did want to add these on because they look so good. They look so realistic, actually, because, you know, it needs some way to get off the ground, and those are kind of like engines there underneath this thing, which give it upward force. And the only problem is there's 2 designs that I had for this part, and I think that I need to figure out which one I want to use. This is option 1 right here, but they do take up a lot of space on the side there. And they're a little bit big. And then option 2 looks like this. So they're a little bit smaller. They take up less space, I feel like, and they can rotate all the way up like this if they need to, and they can actually all go all the way down like this, which I actually like. I think that that's probably more accurate because they do need to be able to go all the way down if the ship was going straight up like this. So, you know, I'm kind of leaning towards this option, and then of course, you know, you can always put tiles right here. It does make them a little bit bigger with the tiles there, but I feel like those studs do need to be covered up, just so it keeps like the studless theme that the model kind of has. There's not really a lot of studs showing, so I'm kind of leaning towards this one. It looks a little bit, you know, it doesn't look as good because they're not like as boxy as they are in the other version, but they are smaller, and they seem to take up less space on the side of the ship. But that's just one change. I did make this, I did use one of these new 2x3 tiles on this, on the wings on the top, versus I was using a 1x3 on the old one. So they are a little bit longer now, and I think that looks better because I did lengthen the actual body of the ship by 2 studs as well. And then I also made these longer, which I think looks better as well. So two major changes to this. And then I also changed the way that these are attached, because on the old version, they fell off really easily. Like you could just literally just with one hit with your thumb and they could fall off. These ones don't actually come off as easily because they are attached right here with these clip pieces, and then they attach to 2 studs right here. So that's a lot more of a stable connection. And the thing about these is they actually are stable enough so that I can put skis on the bottom of these. And these actually do support the entire weight of the ship, along with this landing gear here that I also changed the design of a little bit. So there's landing gear here, here, and here. So there's 4 points where the actual landing gear contacts the ground. And this is definitely more accurate to the concept art, because on the concept art, they did have the actual landing gear on these pylons. It was not in the middle like this and like it is on that ship. And I actually also changed the loading ramp a little bit bit. I used these new inverted tiles here to make the ramp actually only 2 plates thick versus having it be a whole brick thick like it is on the white version over there, like you saw in the mock review. So yeah, it's looking a lot better. I just need to do some final little things on this ship, and then it will be finished. I think I do want to change these a little bit more too. I might actually like use this and make them a little bit more angular. I think that would look good. So I might try to do that. I might try to redesign those like completely and see how it looks. Okay guys, so I made some progress on the build, but sometimes when I'm trying to build, my cat does feel like sitting right on my Lego pieces. So it's a little bit of a problem because she's literally sitting right here, and that's where the Lego pieces are. She doesn't really care. She just is like, look at me. Don't build right now. Uh-huh. Alright everybody, so I ended up making actually a very significant change to the engines. We have this version of the engines, and this looks really, really good. These can actually move up and down like so, just like they would need to provide actual like stabilization and thrust. And then there's actually bigger intakes right here. This is the previous version that I had on there. As you can see, the new version looks a lot more beefy. It looks a lot bigger, and I think it looks a lot better actually, because this one it kind of feels like it's thrown together, and it kind of feels too small. Doesn't feel quite as big. Cause this thing, you know, I was thinking like just practically, this is the engine for this entire ship. There actually might be some thrusters on here, which is actually why I put this right there. I don't know if it looks good or not. Like having a thruster on the back of this. Leave a comment down below if you guys think I should leave that there, or if I should just take it off and just have nothing there. You know, maybe that looks better. But, you know, this thing is the entire thrust for the ship right here. So this has to be big. You know, it's got to be able to drive this ship forward. It's got to be able to pick it up. That's why it needs these thrusters underneath here to give it upward force and force side to side. And then on the back, I was able to add a back thruster as well, which I think is something that it does actually have back there in the show. The previous version did not have that. It just had like a flat area back there, which wouldn't really make a lot of sense. Here's kind of a side-by-side comparison of the innards of the engines. As you can see, this one was the one that I had before. This one looks a lot more refined. It's just a lot more stable. It just looks way better in my opinion. So I think that I will be going with this one. The only problem is I would need to get some dark gray heads. I don't know if I have 2 more of these silver minifigure heads around here somewhere. I'll have to look, but all I did was I just turned the actual faces inwards so you wouldn't be able to see them from the outside. That's kind of a good technique if you have a printed piece that you don't actually want to use the print on. You can just kind of turn it to a way that they can't see it. But right now what I'm actually working on is the bottom of the ship. I still need to build the other engine, of course, but I'm doing the bottom right now as well. This is my kind of a thing that I've made here to correct the stability issue of the ship on the stand. Now this is actually connected at both ends right here. This just actually fits perfectly. There is actually a even amount of studs distance between these two things, and I can just attach them like this, and then this is really stable. This is not going anywhere. You could actually just hold the entire ship just by grasping onto this, which you could not do on the previous version. All right, everybody. So we officially finished the ship. It looks really good. I made a really cool looking stand for it as well, and it's a lot more stable than that stand actually as well, and it looks a lot cooler I think, just because it has some more designs on it. And then here's the front, and then the other side is actually also all done. I was able to find a dark gray head there that I was able to use, and then another one of these flat silver heads right there. But now all that's left to do is to actually make the decals for it, and I was able to print them out yesterday. Here they are. Here are the decals that I printed out. For some reason my printer really doesn't like printing on decal paper though. And they look better on the camera actually, I think. But like if you look really closely, they're really like kind of blotched. Like the ink is kind of blotched on there, and it doesn't look quite right. in person, so maybe it'll look good on a picture. So maybe I don't even have to worry about it. But we're gonna spray these now, and then we're going to we have to spray them with clear coat to make them not come off when I put them in water. As you can see, I did fill up every single square inch of space that I had on this paper because this is the last sheet of decal paper that I have, so I have to actually buy some more after this. I'm kind of wondering if I should, because this is clear paper, so I don't know if the color is gonna look good if I put it on a light gray Lego brick, because the light gray is gonna come through a little bit. Like it's not gonna look like this, because this is what it would look like if you put it on a white model. So the dark gray, the light gray is gonna make it a little bit darker. If I did have some white decal paper or some white sticker paper, that might work better to get the colors to come through. But I think that this might work good enough, and maybe it'll look more realistic too. Because if they did paint on the ship, it wouldn't be solid. You would still be able to see some of the light gray of the original ship colors coming through the paint. So this might actually work better, but we'll try it and see, and then we'll see how it looks once we're done. Then I'll know if I need to buy any more decal paper right now for this model, or if we'll be able to finish it today. All right, everybody. So we actually did it. I did it outside because the decals, they smell really bad because that clear coat does not smell good. And then I also don't have to worry about this mess, which is nice. Otherwise, this would be in my room, and then I would have to worry about cleaning it up. But I can just leave this here till tomorrow. But this is what we have so far. It is looking absolutely, I think it's looking pretty amazing. It's not exactly as vibrant as I would like it to be. Because the colors, it is clear decal paper, so the light gray is showing through. But I think that actually makes it look more realistic almost. It makes it look like it was actually painted on there by some people, some gangsters, they just came and they spray painted, because they wouldn't be using like super thick paint, I don't think. So you wouldn't be able to see some of the light gray come through normally if it was like actual graffiti. So I think it works out pretty well. I mean, it's looking really, really awesome. Yeah, that just looks so cool. It looks even better on the camera, I think, too. Zoom in for you so you guys can get a look at that. But yeah, we officially applied decals to an entire Lego model. People be talking about applying decals to minifigures, but I did it to an entire Lego model. This was very, very challenging right here because I had to actually cut the decals and apply them to each face of the Lego bricks. And there was like 3 different little tiny pieces that I had to cut. So that was very challenging, but I was able to do that. And it's looking really, really awesome. So I think that might be the end of this mock review. Mock update, I should have said there. But be sure to leave a comment down below. Be sure to leave a like on the video. And be sure to subscribe to the channel and keep an eye out for the mock review, which will be coming out in the next week or so for these 2 Elysium shuttles. And I will see you guys in the next video.